Imagine this. You're at a bar in Berlin. You strike up a conversation, politics comes up, and you mention you're an American liberal. The person you're talking to nods and says, "Ah, yes, so you believe in shrinking the state, lowering taxes, and championing free market capitalism." You just stare, blink. What? In America, that sounds like a hardcore conservative. But in Europe, you just described a mainstream liberal. Welcome to the political twilight zone. This isn't just about different accents. It's about two completely different political universes that use the exact same words to mean opposite things. Trying to compare them one-to-one is like trying to play chess on a checkers board. The pieces might look familiar, but the rules are designed to break your brain. Today, we're decoding the matrix. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have the ultimate cheat sheet to understand politics on both sides of the Atlantic. And more importantly, you'll understand the hidden forces that shape both of our worlds. Let's get into it. First things first, the rulebook. The single biggest reason for the confusion is how elections are won. In America, it's almost always winner take all. Think of it like a heavyweight boxing match. In every district, 2 fighters enter, 1 leaves with the prize. There is no second place. This brutally simple rule forces everyone into just 2 giant sprawling teams, Democrats and Republicans. Smaller parties, they get absolutely crushed. They're not just disadvantaged, they are systematically erased from the game. But in Europe, most countries play an entirely different sport called proportional representation. If your party gets 15% of the national vote, guess what? You get roughly 15% of the seats in parliament. And suddenly, everything changes. That's why you see a kaleidoscope of parties. Greens, Social Democrats, Christian Democrats, Liberals, Nationalists, pirate parties. Yes, that's a real thing. They can all survive and thrive. So while America's political map looks like 2 giant blankets, Europe's is a complex, colorful patchwork quilt. But that's just the system. How the teams are built inside that system is where it gets even weirder. This leads to the next mind-bending difference. When do the deals get made? In the US, the coalition is built before the election. The Democratic Party has to cram anti-war progressives, pro-business centrists, and union workers all under one big tent. The Republicans have to juggle free market libertarians, religious evangelicals, and America First nationalists. These groups battle it out in the primaries, and then the winner of that internal war faces the other side. America pitches one giant tent, then plays the match. In Europe, it's the exact opposite. The coalition is built after the election. The Greens run as Greens. The Liberals run as Liberals. Voters pick the party that perfectly matches their views. Then, once the votes are counted, these separate, purer parties are forced to negotiate and build a government together. It's a post-game scramble for power. Europe plays the match, then pitches the tent. So the game is different and the teams are built backwards. But the real confusion, the part that trips everyone up, starts when we look at the names on the jerseys. This is where your brain short-circuits. When an American says liberal, they mean center-left. More social programs, stronger regulations. But when a European says liberal, they often mean center-right on the economy. They're for free markets, individual liberty, and less government intervention. It's the classic 19th century definition. It's a trap. And it gets worse. In Europe, Social Democrat is the mainstream center-left. They champion a strong welfare state, workers' rights, and national health care, all within a capitalist framework. It's the ideology that built modern Sweden and Germany. But in America, you attach the word socialist to any of those ideas, and for half the country, alarm bells start ringing, even if the policies are identical to Europe's political center. And conservative? In the UK or Germany, a conservative is pro-business, but they also typically support universal healthcare and stronger gun laws than most American Democrats would dream of. The bottom line is this: the labels are a minefield. Don't trust them, ever. So if you can't trust the labels, who actually runs these parties? Well, that reveals yet another giant gap between these two worlds. How are leaders chosen? In America, it's a personality-driven demolition derby called the primaries. It's long, it's expensive, and it's all about the individual. A charismatic outsider can hijack the entire party apparatus, whether the party leadership likes it or not. It's the American Idol for politicians. In Europe, the party is king. Leaders are usually chosen by loyal party members or committees. The structure is rigid. Voters are often voting for a party platform first and a personality second. Party loyalty and discipline are paramount. Star power helps, but it rarely beats the machine. This difference, individual versus party, fundamentally changes how governments are formed and, more importantly, how they break. In Europe, because of that multi-party system, coalition governments are the norm. It's rare for one party to win an outright majority. So what happens? They have to sit down, make deals, and share power. A center-right party might team up with a Green party. Compromise isn't just a nice idea, it's mathematically required to govern. Now look at the US. The president is elected separately from Congress. This means one party can control the White House, while the other controls the House or Senate. And when they can't agree, gridlock, government shutdowns, debt ceiling crises, absolute paralysis. This constant threat of total deadlock in the US versus forced compromise in Europe creates a massive gap in what's even considered normal politics. The entire center of political gravity is in a different place. This might be the most important difference of all. In Europe, there's a broad consensus across almost the entire political spectrum on certain issues, things like a national universal healthcare system, strong protections for workers, significant environmental regulations, and some form of gun control. The debate in Europe is about how much to fund these things or how to run them, not whether they should exist at all. In America, those exact same issues are the bloody epicenter of the culture war. Entire elections are fought over the very existence of these programs. What is considered the boring, stable center in Europe is often a radical far-left position in the United States. Okay, so let's put your new knowledge to the test. If you drop the US Democratic Party into a European election, it would instantly shatter into at least 3 different parties: a progressive social democratic party, a Green party, and a pro-business center-right Liberal party. And the Republican Party, it would also explode. The free market, low-tax conservatives would form one party. The nationalist populists would form another, separate party on the far right, and the religious conservatives would form their own Christian democratic-style party. So next time you see a headline that says, "Conservatives win election in France," you'll know to ask, wait, which kind? The mainstream pro-EU center-right kind, or the hard-right anti-immigration nationalist kind? And when you hear the Liberal Party takes power in the Netherlands, you'll know that might actually mean a victory for free market economics, not progressive social policy. American and European politics use a shared vocabulary to describe 2 profoundly different realities. Different rules, different histories, and different cultures have created political species that, while they might look similar, cannot survive in each other's ecosystems. The key isn't to find a perfect translation. It's to realize a perfect translation doesn't exist. Next time you're in that bar in Berlin, or just scrolling through the news, you won't be confused. You'll see the matrix. You'll know the real question isn't are you liberal or conservative? It's which rule book are we even using?